Zach, you started United Autosports just not many years ago. You're an enthusiast, you race yourself. Has the team already gone to a level that has surprised you?
I think it has. To be winning races this early with two different manufacturers and two different cars is great. Richard runs the team. I help out where I can, but really at the weekends I just show up and enjoy myself from behind the steering wheel. So really all the credit to Richard, and most of the guys and gals that we have on the team have been with him for 20 plus years. So it's a great feeling, and that's why we started the team, was to we have a certain way we want to do things. I've got the benefit of hanging out with a lot of Formula One teams over the years, so I have quite high standards of what a racing team should look like, and Richard and I are very aligned on how to go racing, and he does a great job. I love the team. I thoroughly enjoy it, and now with the announcement we're about ready to make, we're just going to continue to try and elevate our status.
And of course, you came out of 2012 winning the last race at Donington with Alvaro Parent. So I guess you are one of the favourites for 2013 in a series that has become so professional. Top drivers, top manufacturers, top teams. I think there's a lot of favorites going into the championship from what we saw, obviously competing in it all year, but then us participating at the end. I think all three cars that we have all have a great shot at the championship. But then if you look down the list and then some of the new teams that are joining, I think probably of a 25-car field or thereabouts, I think the top 10, all of them are capable of winning races. I believe the team that won this past year either won one race or no races, so it's also about consistency. Yeah, it's Perfetti and Kane. They didn't win a race.
Yeah,
but you've got to score every time, haven't you?
Right.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of championship caliber teams out there.
Right, Richard. Let's get some of your drivers out. One of them will be not quite as familiar as the other, but together they're going to prove to be a strong partnership. But tell us more.
Hello. Yeah, sorry. So Richard Mines has been racing for us for 3 years now, and Richard has been quite well known in national racing here a number of years ago and doing one-make series stuff. And he's raced for 3 years with us now at Macau in the GT race, which is an amazing event. He's done Spa 24 hours with us. And Richard's decided he's going to wants to do a full season, I think, before he gets too old, and have a crack at trying to win a championship. He chose the British GT Championship because probably the strongest championship anywhere in Europe. Stefan Rattel and the SRO team always do a great job, but Benjamin in particular, who runs it, while we may clash heads on weekends, I've got amazing respect for him and actually quite like him as a nice guy, which is unusual for somebody who organises the event. So.
I'll tell Stefan that. He's on next.
Oh, okay. So, he's created a platform for us to pull in the calibre of driver alongside Richard now for a full season. And, Zach's marketing expertise and the sponsors and everybody's helped make this happen. So, welcome to the stage, Mark Blundell.
Perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, Richard Mines and Mark Blundell. I promised you'd know who this was. Here they are. Have a seat, gentlemen. Good to see you. You're no stranger to United Autosports, of course. You've raced with them before. You've done Spa. How do you have to change your mindset to focus on a whole championship campaign? Because you will be one of the favourites in that car.
Listen, I think, at the end of the day, with United Autosports, I know I've got a great team. I know I've got great equipment with McLaren. I know Richard Mines is a very strong driver. So we will go out there and try and do the best we can. And I think if we do that, I think on our day we will have some good results. But ultimately it's all about trying to enhance the team, and we're trying to get the performance level to the next step. And, when you've got other guys in the team under the same umbrella of Alvaro Parenti, that's a very good gauge for even an old boy like me. And I have to be, I'm still learning as well. I learnt some stuff from him last year when I looked at some of his data. But saying that, it's all about having some fun. We've got some great partners for this year. Vigeland Computers are with us. Henderson Insurance have also come on board with United Autosports. So, there's some other people that we're probably going to pull in before the season starts. So there's a lot of anticipation and a lot of expectation.
Richard, just outline the programmes and who's going to be sharing with who and in what.
Is that one playing
Try
up?
that one. There you go.
They keep turning it down. Naughty.
They're turning me off. I think it's a hint. So the main program, British GT, the partnership that, as you pointed out earlier, that won the last round of the British GT Championship 2012 with Zach and Alvaro Parente, that's continuing into 2013. So that's one McLaren. Richard and Mark Blundell in the other McLaren for a full season, and we're also running our Audi R8 in the full British GT program as well with another United Autosports regular, Mark Patterson, who's again been with us 3 years, shared the car with these two guys at Daytona, 24-hour race, very successfully as well. And he will be partnered with Matt Bell, who is somewhere in the crowd. I just saw, I think. So Matt's his third full season with us, top of his game, very good pro, and all three cars have got a great chance of winning.
Zach, the McLaren has proved to be a kind of like the ultimate turnkey GT3 car. It's not very old and it's already a winner.
Yeah, I think, and it's something that we need to be careful of in GT3 is as these cars continue to evolve, each new car that comes out seems to be more advanced than the previous car, and so we do need to make sure from a budget standpoint that we can contain costs. The McLaren car inherently, carbon fiber chassis, the electronics that it has is a spectacular car, but we also run our Audi, and that has the same pace as the McLaren depending on which track it is. So it is a great formula, and that you see most of the manufacturers winning. If I had a car to choose, I'd choose to be in the McLaren, so that's obviously where what car I think is best, but I think they're all very good on their day.
Do the regulations allow you to make the difference? The good drivers and the good teams, can they get a little bit more out of these cars? Because they are production-based, aren't they?
Yeah, I think it's the case in any racing. A well-prepared car, well-tested car, drivers on top of their game will always make a difference, but it is very, very close. It's if you look at the qualifying times, a second will cover the top 12, 15 cars. So I think they can make a difference, but it's a very small incremental difference, but that's the difference between first and 10th.
Richard, sharing with Mark Blundell, he'll teach you a lot, won't he?
I think so. Yeah. No, it's so we drove together last year. I took a lot from him. I've got a few years on him as well, so I've got a bit more experience in some areas. But no, it's going to be. We're going to have some fun, and I think I hope we can do really well.
And as a sports car driver, I guess there's an ambition to race at Le Mans. That's the big one, isn't it?
Yeah, I've got to say personally, Le Mans is everybody's what they look to achieve. For me, I've got to say, it's the Spa 24 with GT3 cars is probably a better race in this class because it's you have 65 cars identical, and I don't think there's a race that really can offer anything like that. To run around in a GT2 or something at Le Mans with prototypes,
keeping out of the way, yeah. Mark, you've got a long history with McLaren. You raced with them in Formula One, of course. You must be attracted by the fact that United are running a McLaren. It's been engineered and built absolutely to perfection.
Yeah, I know McLaren very well. I know the people there extremely well. So, to be sat in a McLaren in this stage of my career, and I say career because I still never said I retired, is good. Understand the design process, the technology, the philosophy of McLaren, how they go about it, and that fits, and it fits very well with us at United. Same philosophies in their approach as well. But ultimately they're producing a customer car, and it's down to us to operate that to the best of our abilities.
Okay, we wish you well, guys. Thanks very much for talking to us. Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Blundell, Richard Dean, Zach Brown and Richard Mines. Thanks, fellas.